Good evening. It's 5:48. It's been an immaculate day. Got to spend most of it outside. As I mentioned yesterday, I mowed across the street, blew a couple leaves at home, blew out the garage. It had gotten full of crap. What else did I do? I put the sprinklers away, I put the hoses away, I took the pump out of the creek. Reason being, I see the first low temperature in the 30s on the forecast. It's 34 next Saturday, and I don't want to take a chance of that turning into 32, anything freezing, breaking, fitting, stuff like that. So that's all put away and all done. So anyways, I'm gonna head out to Cuyahoga Falls, have dinner with grandparents, and head back to the house tonight. We got a Cavaliers game at 7, but before then, actually I'm not going to be able to before then, but I want to be able to finish my paper and get that turned in tonight for sure. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. It's 10:56. I watched the 3rd Cavaliers preseason game, revised the paper, submitted the paper, studied for about 90 minutes for legal and regulatory environment of business exam that is tomorrow. Now I'm coming out here to kind of embark on a bit of a cleanup process, and I want to show you the ridiculousness here. Let it focus. It isn't just carbon, it's 3-dimensional chunks of black. Chunks of carbon. If we come down to the exhaust, even just look at the side of the tip. I mean, the whole back of this car is caked, totally caked in black deposits. And this has gotten substantially worse over the summer and into the fall. The car needs a thermostat, and it's supposed to open at 79 degrees. It's usually at about 74 degrees, as low as 69 and as warm as 82 still. But it's usually below where it should be. So that running a little bit more rich is detrimental to carbon output, but my God, has it gotten bad. I am very ready for a fresher engine that's half rebuilt to go in this thing. I can't even drive it a weekend without it looking like I haven't cleaned it in months. It's disgusting. I mean, it looks bad. Taking a bit of a break with some chocolate milk. I've been out here for maybe about 90 minutes. I did the usual. I started with the windows, cleaned up the windows. They weren't too bad. A bunch of tree sap on the front windshield, but that's about it. Moved on to the body, which, with the exception of the rear bumper, was not nearly as bad as I thought. After driving this car on the highway a bunch, and it sat outside for a bunch of places over a couple days, and really wasn't bad. A little bit of tree sap on the front from something, but the rest was good. Wow, does the back look different? It actually looks like a Silverstone car. Now it was turning carbon black. Let me pick up my iPhone. I'll show you the difference. Everything cleaned up really well. You guys remember from the last clip, it looked like shit. So I use Zano Z6. I try not to let the Z6 sit on there because it seems to like etch its way into the clear coat if I do that. I don't know if that makes sense, but that seems to be what happens. But a little bit less direct lighting maybe. That probably works. Nice and clean. Look at the exhaust. Now the inside of the exhaust as far as I can reach. And the rest of it looks like that. But everything I can reach and everything you can see without getting down like this, so about 3 inches, is very clean. But look at the rest of it. Look how it's moist, textured pieces of carbon, or whatever the hell it is. Nasty. Looks awesome though on the outside. Even cleaned up the cans. They look really nice. So I'm gonna just take out the carpets inside and brush them out. I don't think they're too bad, but I'm driving it a little bit. So I'll pull that out, clean the carpets up, and then we're gonna be done. Go to bed. Okay, I'm all done now. I cleaned out the interior a little bit, and then I like to take a towel around and clean up the door jambs. They get dusty, and yeah, I'm anal about that. I'm seeing by this hood gap that I did forget to lift the hood open and clean. Jeez. Boy, that thing needs to be replaced. It does not pop out anymore, so I really have to freaking rape it to pull it out. Anyways, This tends to get a little dusty. I check oil whenever I do this. I also check power steering fluid. And I always look at that, but I certainly never have to add any fluid to that. So that's good news, the coolant. So I'm gonna finish this up here in a few minutes. It's about 12:45. Head inside, shower, get ready for the exam tomorrow. It's 1:40. I came in and had a bowl of cereal. I had dinner at Bob Evans hours ago. It wasn't really an early dinner. It was at 6:30. But I got hungry again, so I had some cereal. And usually I have my brunch. I bring a bagel and a granola bar or something like that and eat it during the business class, but I'll be taking an exam in there tomorrow, and it's probably not the best form to bring out brunch during an exam, so I will refrain from that. I do need to make sure that I have a number 2 pencil because it's a Scantron. Haven't taken one of those for a while. Have to know my student ID. I think that's still up here somewhere, but I don't do anything with paper and pencil anymore. The other day I printed out an invoice, that order that Kenan did from ECS that I had some parts on there. I printed it out and I got a pen and I circled the stuff that I bought and crossed out the stuff that he bought and put a note at the top. And when I was writing that, I had the thought process of, wow, I'm writing something with my hand, not a computer. I never write anything anymore. And I think like for this writing class, it's professional writing, but there is no writing. It's all word processing, and it has been since, my God, since I started writing stuff in middle school. But there had to be a day, and there certainly was, and it was slightly before my time, where reports and papers were written by hand. And if you spelled something wrong or wanted to add something to the middle of it, you had to redo the whole page. And if you added too much text, then your next page wouldn't be in line. What a primitive world that used to be. So anybody over probably about 28, 25, 30, I don't know, sucked for you. We can go in there and do revision 2 with just clicking a mouse around and crossing stuff and blanking stuff out. Yeah, it's way better. Anyways, just a thought. So tomorrow I gotta be up early. I cannot afford to be late for that, so I'm gonna set a couple alarms, probably put an alarm on the iPad and throw it on the floor on full volume. That'll get me up. I'll be pissed off for a while, but I always am in the morning. So I'm gonna go up and shower and get to bed, wrap up the weekend, even though it is a Monday. Need to talk to Lyric. I haven't pulled the trigger on the engine yet. I wanted to today. I stopped over to Lyric's to see if they, it's coming down to shipping questions. So Adam, he's gonna ship it. It's a matter of, do we need liftgate service on the truck? If Lyric has a forklift or a loading dock, I know they don't have a loading dock, but they might have a forklift, it'll be a little cheaper, seeing that we don't need liftgate service with the freight company. If they don't, then we'll have to have liftgate service, drop it off on the ground. That's their responsibility from there. But if it's on the ground on a pallet, off a truck, I mean, they're still gonna have to move it. I would think a pretty decent distance to be able to put it in the car. So they've got to have some sort of equipment for doing that. And they are certainly capable of doing engine work. They've had multiple engines out and apart and swaps and all kinds of stuff. So hopefully we'll get in contact with them tomorrow, find that out, get the final price, get a cashier's check cut, put it in the mail, overnight it. Joe was recommending FedEx overnight, might do that. If it costs like 40 bucks, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just put a stamp on it and be patient. So I'll keep you guys updated with the whole process. Thought that was a spider in my arm. No, it's not. All right, talk tomorrow on Tuesday. Wish me luck on that exam. Night.